Introduction. In ancient Japan, where the samurai were the epitome of honor and valor, there were sages whose knowledge and wisdom were passed down from generation to generation. One day, a young child named Hiro went in search of one such sage to find answers to his questions. The sage, who had been a great samurai in the past, decided to share a story about an indomitable warrior who had been striving for greatness since childhood. Chapter 1. The Beginning of the Journey. Once upon a time, a boy named Hiro was born in a small village. His heart has always been in the pursuit of adventure and knowledge. From an early age, he heard legends about a sage who lived high in the mountains and had incredible wisdom. One day, after hearing another legend from a wandering storyteller, Hiro decided to set out on a journey to find this sage and learn how to achieve true greatness. Setting out from his home, Hiro met many people along the way. Some of them discouraged him, saying that the sage was just a myth. But Hiro believed in his dream and kept going. He crossed mountains, forests, and rivers, overcoming numerous obstacles. His journey was long and difficult, but his faith in his goal gave him strength. After many days of traveling, Hiro finally reached the sage's temple. The old sage greeted him warmly and asked, "Why have you come to me, young warrior?" Hiro replied, "I am looking for wisdom to become a great warrior. Tell me how to achieve success." The wise man thought for a moment and decided to tell him a story about a samurai who had been training since childhood and was striving to become great. Chapter 2. The Samurai's Childhood. A long time ago, in another village, a boy named Ryu was born. His father was a swordsmith, and his mother was a wise woman who taught him philosophy and morality. Since childhood, Ryu was fond of martial arts and dreamed of becoming a samurai. His father, seeing his son's passion, began to teach him the art of swordplay. Ryu trained every day, improving his skills. But Ryu knew that a true samurai must not only be a master of the sword, but also have wisdom and honor. His mother taught him ancient texts and samurai philosophy. She always said, "The true strength of a samurai is in his heart and mind." Ryu learned to listen to his inner voice and to act with honor in all his actions. Ryu also knew that the path to a great goal would not always be easy. His parents taught him patience and perseverance. Every day he grew stronger and wiser through hard work and self-belief. He dreamed of the day when he would be able to prove his dedication to the way of the samurai and achieve true greatness. Chapter 3. The First Trials. When Ryu grew up, he decided to leave his home village and set out on a journey to find a teacher to help him improve his skills. His father gave him an old sword, and his mother blessed him with the path of a warrior. Ryu felt a great responsibility and decided that he would not betray his parents' expectations. During his journey, Ryu met many warriors who challenged him to a duel to test his skills. Each duel was a tough test, but Ryu did not give up. He remembered his mother's words about the power of the heart and mind and always acted with honor. His reputation as a swordsman and wise warrior spread quickly. One day, Ryu met an old samurai named Takeshi. Takeshi saw something special in the young warrior and decided to take him under his wing. Takeshi taught Ryu not only martial arts, but also the art of strategy and tactics. They trained together every day, and Ryu quickly improved his skills. Chapter 4. The Tough Trials. Over the years, Ryu became a true martial artist. He traveled the country helping the weak and protecting the innocent. However, his path was full of difficulties. One day he came across a band of robbers who were robbing peaceful villagers. They were armed to the teeth and merciless. Ryu decided to defend the village from these thieves, even though he knew he had little chance of winning. The battle was fierce. Ryu fought like a lion, but his strength was unequal. He was wounded and on the verge of death. But even when the pain was unbearable, he did not give up. He remembered the words of his mother and teacher and continued to fight. His unwavering will inspired the villagers, and they rose up to help their defender. Together, they were able to drive out the robbers and save the village. Chapter 5. Conquering Self. After this battle, Ryu realized that the true strength of a samurai is not only in physical strength, but also in the strength of the spirit. He began to train even harder and improve his skills to always be ready for new challenges. His reputation grew, and people began to speak of him as a legend. His name became a symbol of courage and unwavering determination. One day, Ryu learned of a terrible ruler named Shindo, who was terrorizing the neighboring lands. Shindo was a cruel tyrant who ruthlessly oppressed his subjects. Ryu decided that it was his duty to put an end to this suffering. He set out for Shindo's castle, knowing that it would be the hardest battle of his life. Chapter 6. The Final Victory. The preparations for the battle were arduous. Ryu gathered a small army of those who believed in his cause. They knew the odds were against them, but their belief in justice and their leader's unwavering will inspired them. They marched to the castle and began a siege. The battle lasted for many days and nights. Ryu fought on the front lines, setting an example of courage and steadfastness. Finally, after long and hard battles, Ryu met Shindo face to face. It was an epic fight where every punch could have been the last. But Ryu did not give up. He used everything he had learned over the years of training. His concentration and skill were at the highest level. And at the moment when it seemed that he had no more strength, he remembered the words of his mother and teacher. The strength of a samurai is in his heart and mind. This gave him the final push, and he struck the decisive blow. Shindo fell, and with his fall came the long-awaited freedom for people. Ryu became a symbol of the victory of good over evil. His name was on everyone's lips. But instead of accepting the glory and honors, Ryu decided to leave the battlefield and find a new way to improve himself. Chapter 7. The sage Ryu became a traveling teacher, teaching young warriors the true essence of the samurai way. He taught them not only the art of combat, but also the art of wisdom and honor. His disciples spread throughout the country, spreading his teachings and helping the weak. One day, a boy named Hiro came to him. Ryu saw in him the same passion and determination he had once seen in himself. He decided to take Hiro under his wing and impart his knowledge and wisdom to him. Hiro learned from Ryu, just as Ryu had learned from Takeshi, and realized that the true power of a warrior lies in his heart and mind. Conclusion. Ryu's story became a legend that was passed down from generation to generation. It taught that true greatness is not in physical strength, but in the strength of the spirit and mind. Ryu showed that with faith in your goal and unwavering will, you can overcome any obstacles and achieve true greatness. Ryu passed on his wisdom to Hiro, and now the young warrior continued his path, helping the weak and protecting the innocent. His name became a new legend that inspired the next generations of warriors. And so, in ancient Japan, where the samurai were the embodiment of honor and valor, there were not only warriors, but also sages who passed on their knowledge and wisdom from generation to generation. The story of Ryu and Hiro has become part of this great tradition, in which the power of the heart and mind has always been in the first place. History teaches us that the true strength of a warrior lies in his inner light, in his belief in himself, and in his unwavering will to achieve his goals despite all obstacles. A true samurai always stays true to his path and always acts with honor. Although times change, wisdom and honor remain eternal values that are passed down from one generation to the next.